It's not hot.
We'll see how hot it is. That's going to be up to our competitors today.
We normally call hot modern action on Tuesday nights. So if you're joining us from our Tuesday night streams, welcome. Special shout out to you guys. But we've got 6 rounds of glorious standard. I love this standard.
Hold on, 6 rounds of glorious standard Swiss action.
Oh yes, plus 3
wonderful top 8 matches.
Wonderful, intriguing top 8 matches.
Absolutely, this should be hot. The reason you guys are blessed to have us with you here today is because Taylor and I are already qualified for this, so neither of us have to play.
Yeah, you can, if you're coming to the regional Pro Tour qualifier, you can.
Unsure which one yet. There's one in Nashville, there's one in Indy. They're both pretty close.
The one in Nashville is way better food, but it's like plus 2 hours
way
driving.
Better food?
I mean, there's hot chicken.
Hot chicken. Nashville hot. Call me KFC, I got you.
So I'm excited for this match. Jake Valentine's playing Temur Energy, which he has been
Yes, he does.
grinding into the dirt. And on your right-hand side, Adam, his name is Sarosy, so we'll get that corrected, is borrowing my Desert Red deck. This is almost the exact list. It might actually just be the exact list that Ben Stark finals the Grand Prix with.
Sure.
2 Grand Prix ago, so Grand Prix Atlanta. Sarosy.
Got it. All right. So, how does this Desert Red deck do typically against Team Renji? Obviously, Jake has a lot more experience than
yes,
Adam.
I like Jake on player, but I like Adam on deck. The Desert Red deck has just tons of removal. You get to indiscriminately fire off your removal, whereas in the Ramanap Red deck, you have to be a little bit more cautious about where you point it, because sometimes you'll need it to get him dead.
Absolutely.
Whereas this deck is just way better at.
Adam throwing it back here.
This deck is just way better at killing all the creatures, which I feel like if Temur Energy doesn't get wide on you, it's not as good.
Correct.
Like it's much easier to fight one giant Hydra than it is to fight a Hydra and a Rogue Refiner and a couple Cubs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The Hydra specifically can cause a little bit of an issue, but because of the sheer amount of removal you have, they have to have so much energy at the ready to keep it alive.
Yeah, sometimes you can fire 2 spells at it to make them save it twice.
Right. And it's really about foresight here. Like, if you know when the Hydra is going to come down, then you can do it in response to the energy trigger.
Right.
And then they're very pinched for energy.
Right. I don't think Jake will make the mistake of missing the playing his Hydra into some like empty energy situation.
Oh, sure.
He's a little more sophisticated than that. This hand looks pretty good. I see a Carry Zevon and a Braid at least, so I would keep this hand. Yep.
Turn 1, Soul Scar Mage.
It's a solid start.
Oh, no attune with Aether for Jake. Tell you what, these energy decks, I played a week with Temur, a couple weeks now with Saltai, just to kind of get a feel for them. They play so much differently when you have that attune for Aether. Like, everything's just so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I was describing this deck to Adam, and I said it's basically a deck that is... all the cards are bad if you have no energy in the pool, and they're all well above average if you have 4 energy in the pool.
Yeah.
And so that just starting the game with 2 energy and smoothing out your draw is just where you want to be in this energy world.
Absolutely. Adam off to a pretty fast start. Jake off to a pretty slow start, all things considered.
I wish Adam would not have done that. When I have a board presence like this, I would have much preferred to use a removal spell at the end of my turn, or at the end of Jake's turn. This is fine though, I guess. Really needs to start hitting some lands. And here we are.
Block the monkey. Or a Soul Scar Mage. It doesn't really matter. You're taking 5 regardless.
Yep. Down to 9.
Yeah, this is a precarious spot for Jake, but like you said, if he wouldn't have played that Soulscar Mage, it changes the math here because he would be able to burn at the end of Jake's turn.
Right.
But I guess being choked on 2 mana, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, and really these Whirl of Virtuosos are just, they're soaking up damage, and they are...
Now here's an interesting thing. He's using these lightning strikes to get rid of these Whirl of Virtuosos. Do you think it's going to come back to bite him? That he can't send an Abrade to the face, if that's what he has in hand?
Yeah, is one of those cards in Abrade? I see a Chandra and a Glorybringer, and he's not drawn any land since his opening hand.
Yeah, I can't really tell. Alright, Jake has seen enough, did not draw what he needed to draw off of the Rogue Refiner, and here we are going into game 2. Sideboarding for this Desert Red deck. I know it's your deck. What do you do here?
So Adam's going to be on the draw, and this is going to make his Chandras much worse. So the big thing is that you want to have Glorybringers on the draw, not Chandras.
Okay.
I also... excuse me. You also want to go up on Abrades.
Okay.
So you finish out your set of Abrades and you finish out your set of Ferocidons. Another really important card.
+1 Ferocidon, +1 Abrade, +1 Glorybringer.
Minus 3 Chandras. And that's it. If you want to bring in your Magma Sprays, that's fine, but seeing his Whirl of Virtuosos, not the most exciting thing for a Magma Spray.
No, I like Magma Spray on the draw because they're going to keep Cubs in.
Yes.
And I hate it on the play.
Sure.
Because not only is it like clogging up your hand and not like particularly good, but they're also more than likely subbing out the Cub for a more resilient threat.
Yep. What about this Temur Energy deck?
So, as I mentioned, being on the play, Cub gets to stay in. I don't know what Jake's sideboard looks like.
Yeah.
Usually you want to streamline your removal here, but I don't really know what options he has. So obviously he's going to have the 4 Harness Lightning in the main. He's probably running 2 Magma Spray main. He might go up to a 3rd. You really want Essence Scatters. So if he's only playing 1 in the main, he probably has another one on the board. You want that in.
Sure.
And then there's any number of cards you can shave on here. Most notably being Rogue Refiner. I don't
think Whirl of Virtuoso is as critical here as it is against the Ramanap version of Red.
Right, but you saw there, Adam had removal for both of the Whirl of Virtuosos, and they still got a block in, and that could be a very big deal.
Sure.
So it kind of makes your removal worse, which is relevant. Plus, if you play it into a board where you have a lot of energy already, it's very good.
Oh, yeah. It can be pretty
But yeah,
nice.
anytime you see a deck with Glorybringers as one of these energy decks, you want Essence Scatters.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Sure. I know that these Temur energy decks also found Vizier of Many Faces.
Oh, yeah.
As a potential add, and...
I don't know if he'll have the read. I mean, he probably knows that there's going to be Glorybringers here. Usually the Viziers come in against the other energy decks. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, I've played Jake with this deck, so I think he knows what's up. The big card Adam has here that's very, very good is Sand Strangler. You also get to you get the Flame Tongue Kavu like almost 100% of the time because you have 12 deserts in your deck.
Wow.
And they have to answer it on the board. So
yeah, 3/3 body is no joke. I know we played last week. I was playing a Sultai energy deck, but you drew all of your Sand Stranglers like in the first 4 turns. I was like, all right, well, like, there's nothing I can do, I guess.
Yeah, it's worth 2 cards every time.
$618 Sandman 618 says he's gonna smash Temur Energy. What are you gonna smash Temur Energy with, Sandman?
This Desert Red deck I think was designed to beat Temur Energy.
Yeah.
So that's why I've really been liking it at our store particularly, because there's been a ton of energy decks running around. And just a smattering of the Ramanap red decks, and there's always like an approach deck and a blue-black control deck. This hand's pretty good. The shock is good here, and so is the lightning strike. So your first 2 turns are taken up with removal, and then you can make your choice of either going to Ferocidon or...
Jake has the Attune with Aether. That's very good for him.
Yes, it's a very important start. I guess Sarosy's gonna go. He's gonna go no headphones here.
Yeah, he's in the zone. He's ready.
He's getting. We're serious. No headphones. All action.
Gloves off. Sandman says he's gonna smash Temur energy with his black-white zombies deck.
I would love if the black-white zombies deck was like super viable.
Yeah,
that'd make me happy. I love the Wayward Servant. Is that the name of the card?
Mm-hmm.
The black-white. All right. Dings him for 1. Looks like Jake has really slowed his roll here.
Yeah, Jake does have the Vizier of Many Faces.
Adam needs to slow his roll here. If he plays this treasure map onto this empty board, Jake is going to have an unmitigated turn, so he'll get to play a Whirler Virtuoso possibly and get the energy from it. Whereas if Adam just waits, he can respond to the energy trigger on the Virtuoso, killing it before a Thopter can be made.
Right.
He's playing slow. I like that.
Plus, you can't do it. Like the treasure map does not impact the board at all right now. You can't scry with it.
Correct. It's a turn 3 play, not a turn.
And it's just going to get abraded anyway. That was really bad for me.
Yeah, that was not. It's not where we wanted to be. Let's see if he can jump on the learning curve though and pick back up from that and not make the mistake again. Rogue Refiner's about the least threatening threat. I mean, it's a threat still. It still needs answered.
And it draws a card when it comes into play. It replaces itself, so.
Yeah.
So
you want to shock with Lightning Strike open here. Having removal is way more important than building a board.
Okay.
When you're playing this Desert Red deck. Mainly because Jake has so many things that interact with your board that, I mean, it's just not like he's got removal, he's got Confiscation Coup. Looks like there's a Vizier in his hand.
Here's an Attune with Aether. Getting him more energy, another land. Adam is way behind in this game now.
Well, I can see where Adam didn't want to remove the Rogue Refiner here. He's got Sand Strangler. And so he's going to get to strangle the Rogue Refiner. And Jake with 6 energy, it no longer matters really. It costs 5. Just trying to get the discount. We'll get this other very good card.
This lizard.
No, the whole thing of like waiting for the trigger to like not letting the comes into play energy trigger resolve anymore is no longer super duper relevant. You get to he's got 7 energy now, so he's gonna get activations out of whatever he wants to put into play.
Yeah, absolutely. And since Adam made the gaffe of showing the Glorybringer,
yeah,
Jake has these Viziers and knows what's going on.
Right. Yeah, so if he goes to get down, he really should. I think you should Lightning Strike the Vizier. I mean, making him bring it back and, like, you know, copy another Sand Strangler's, like, it's pretty irrelevant.
Yeah, Sand Strangler doesn't really do anything for him.
So, like, if you can eat up Jake's turn by having him spend, like, 1 billion mana on these Viziers, see, this is not where I want to be. You could have Lightning Struck the Vizier, attacked. Jake's going to untap, embalm his Vizier, and you get to
Lightning strike.
Well, it's a 4/4 at that point.
Oh, sure.
But you can lightning strike shock, or you can lightning strike his face, or you can. Yep. Harness lightning gets that down. And now Jake's gonna gets to sandbag this Vizier.
Yeah.
For your Glorybringer.
Oh, and he has the Death Gorge Scavenger. This card is so versatile.
Yeah.
I found myself bringing this in almost every matchup.
It just hasn't found a main deck spot yet for you, has it?
It's tough. It doesn't have a lot of synergy with the energy decks. So you don't really get to... You don't get to main deck it.
Alright, so here's a cub that's just going to be enormous.
Potentially.
So, if I'm Adam here, I'm going to lightning strike it, make him activate it twice, lightning strike it again. Because he can't get it to 6, can he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he can get it to 6, but if you lightning strike it, make him activate it twice, lightning strike it again, you get the cub down. And he's going to let it go. This is going to be impressive if Jake lets this go. Alright, so Jake can't save it now, unless the last card in his hand's Blossoming Defense. I don't think he has another card in hand.
Blossoming Defense typically only... He has one card in hand.
Decks,
yeah, that's a Sultai card.
That's a Sultai card. Adam's still not drawing any land for this Glorybringer.
So we're just going to land go here for a while. I think Jake has one card in hand. It's his second Vizier. Now 2 cards.
Alright, so if I'm Adam and I have this much removal in my hand, I'm just going to start firing at Jake's face.
Well, he's at 21. There's no point doing it right now.
Chandra's defeat's a huge one here. So the reason it's so good is because he's going to get to Vizier this Glorybringer.
Yeah.
And Chandra's defeat's going to get to take that Vizier down.
He's going to get 2 Viziers here. Alright, so double Glorybringer, swinging in for 8. And then Adam's going to be able to untap and then Chandra's defeat one of them.
And Chandra the other one. Holy smokes, this is going to be very good.
I don't think he has the land for that.
No, because he has 5 lands, so Chandra costs 4.
Mm-hmm.
Chandra, -4, the one that is... It doesn't matter which one. And then Chandra's defeat the other one. And so then he has to Vizier the Glorybringer to kill the Chandra, and then Adam has all this removal left in his hand that he's going to get to kill the...
And a Glorybringer.
Yeah, and a Glorybringer left, so he's going to get to grind through a lot of this value here. Let's see if Adam sees the line. You got to do it while he's tapped out here. I don't know if Jake brought in a negate, but it's a possibility. Also, Spell Pierce is a card that comes in occasionally.
Occasionally.
More against the control decks than... I just want to get Chandra on the board.
Adam is not so pressed to get Chandra, it looks like.
I think if he makes this Chandra line, he can't lose the game.
Can't lose the game.
Alright, so he's going to burn off 2 light... Okay, so this might be better because he gets to... So Adam's learning these cards as we go. So let's see if he sees that Chandra's defeat can target a creature.
So it's better to do it during the attack phase because then you don't get hit by a Glorybringer?
Oh, sure. So he should defeat this Vizier that's copying the Glorybringer.
He sees it.
He sees it. So with this line, Adam's going to get the same outcome, except he's going to have a Chandra left on the board after this Vizier copies his Glorybringer again.
Depending on what Jake has here.
Right. Yep, there's a Rogue Refiner.
Rogue Refiner's good.
Yep, gonna churn through some cards. It's not gonna last long. The Glorybringer gets to exert down the Rogue Refiner.
Yeah, Adam's been aching to exert this Glorybringer.
And Jake's hand contains a Harness Lightning. It looks like.
Yeah, Harness Lightning's gonna be good here to take care of the Glorybringer.
Yep.
I think he just drew another Chandra. I think you attack with Glorybringer before you do anything.
Yeah, in case it gets removed, it changes your game plan quite significantly. Oh, I guess that isn't a Harness Lightning, because Jake, there's no way Jake would have let that happen.
No, that's
had there been a Harness
deal.
Lightning. I don't know what this red card is.
Here's a Rogue Refiner. That's going to do a good job of pressuring the Chandra.
Yep. So it looks like the Rogue Refiner is probably going to catch an Abrade. He'll make three things. Chandra's going to go up.
I would draw the card first.
Concur. This Virtuoso is definitely going to create some Thopters, though.
He can get 3.
And just deals him 2. Putting Jake to 7, it looks like.
Let's see what's in his hand. We got Lightning Strike, Abrade, another Chandra, and a Bomat Courier.
I would Abrade this and then send my Bomat Courier in to get eaten by a Thopter.
Yeah.
Because then
you can save the Chandra.
Save the Chandra with the Lightning Strike. He's gonna do it the other way. Yep, here comes the Bomat Courier.
Here he comes.
You just have to not value this Bomat Courier at all. You can't think about... You have another Chandra in hand, so there's your card advantage to win the game if you need it. But if you value the Bomat Courier...
Oh, he has the Abrade.
Yeah, exile that card face down. Man, seeing people play with new cards is the funniest thing in my mind.
Chandra's down.
Chandra down.
Now he gets untapped his Glorybringer.
Yeah, and so if he would have chosen...
Oh, he has another Glorybringer.
If he would have chosen to use the Abrade instead of the Lightning Strike on the Warlord Virtuoso, he would have 100% had that versus requiring to draw the Glorybringer.
Right.
Well, that was an interesting match.
Interesting.
Why do you think... So Jake drew a gajillion lands there. He drew like 3 lands in game 1 and like 8 to 10 in game 2.
He drew a lot of lands in game 2. Game 1 is just a very bad matchup for Jake, period. Like, there's no two ways around it.
Right.
Game 2, he drew a lot of land. He had the Viziers for the Glorybringers. But Adam just had all the removal. Like, there were 3 or 4 turns in the middle there where Jake just kept drawing land and Adam just kept drawing removal and nothing to use it on.
Right.
And whenever that's the case, then the card or the deck that's drawing the removal is going to be very well off.
We're going to go scout the field a little bit here, see what's out there for you guys.
Yeah, we're going to come back here about 25 minutes probably for the next round of Standard. And we'll be here all day, so
Yeah,
get comfortable.
we're going to be here all day. Get comfortable. It's only going to get better because the cream rises to the top.
Ooh, yeah.
So sit around. Be back in 25 with more tepid modern action. Standard action.
Come on.
It's a standard tournament.
You had one job.
One job
Standard.
I give.
We'll be back.